Welcome to University Malaysia Kelantan.
Your journey toward excellence begins here.
At University Malaysia Kelantan, we cultivate innovation, leadership and entrepreneurial excellence.
Hello everyone and welcome to Unit 4, Innovation and Infrastructure. In the previous units, we focused on different communication skills. In Unit 1, we talked about ourselves and learned how to identify main ideas and supporting details. In Unit 2, we use similar skills while discussing friendships and relationships. In Unit 3, we learn how to differentiate facts from opinions and how to give explanation and arguments. Now, in Unit 4, we will explore a new topic, innovation and infrastructure, especially the development of robots and new technologies. Today, technology is changing the way we live and work. Robots, artificial intelligence, and automatic machines are becoming more common in many industries. Because of this, many people ask an important question. Will robots replace human jobs in the future? To discuss these kinds of topics clearly, we need good communication skills. In this lesson, we will learn how to listen for story examples and how to use story examples in our own speech while giving reasons and justification. By the end of this unit, you should be able to do 4 things. First, you will learn how to identify story examples when listening. Second, you will understand how examples help speakers explain their ideas. Third, you will practice using story examples when presenting your ideas. Finally, you will learn how to give reasons and justification when explaining your opinion. These skills are especially useful when discussing complex topics like innovation and technology. Let's begin by understanding the key terms in this unit. The first word is innovation. Innovation means creating new ideas, technologies, or inventions that improve the way we live or work. For example, smartphones, online banking, and artificial intelligence are all innovations. The second word is infrastructure. Infrastructure refers to the systems that support society, such as transportation systems, communication networks, and technological systems. Innovation and infrastructure are closely connected because new technologies often become part of the systems that support modern society. One of the most interesting examples of innovation today is the development of robots and artificial intelligence. For example, in factories, robots can assemble products quickly and accurately. Some cities are testing delivery robots that can transport food and packages. Many people also use AI assistants to answer questions or organize tasks. In the future, we may even see self-driving vehicles becoming common. However, these innovations raise an important question. If machines can perform many tasks more efficiently, what will happen to human jobs? This question is often discussed in business, education, and technology conversations. Now, let's move to our listening skills for this unit. When people explain complex ideas, they often use story examples. A story example is a short real-life situation that helps explain an idea. Instead of only explaining an idea in theory, the speaker describes a situation that shows how the idea works in practice. Story examples make connection more interesting and easier to understand. They help listeners imagine real situations. Let's look at an example. A speaker says, in one factory in Japan, robots now assemble cars. Because robots work continuously, production has increased significantly. In this example, the speaker is explaining how robots improve production. Instead of just saying robots improve productivity, the speaker uses a story example about a factory in Japan. This example helps listeners understand the idea more clearly. When listening to a speaker, try to identify two important things. First, identify the main idea. In the previous example, the main idea is that robots can improve production. Second, identify the story examples that support the idea. The story example is the factory in Japan that uses robots to assemble cars. The example helps explain why the main idea is true. Here is a simple strategy for identifying story examples. Step 1. Listen carefully for the main idea. Step 2. Pay attention when speaker introduces an example, situation, or short story. Step 3. Ask yourself how the example supports the speaker's idea. Following these steps will help you become a better listener. Now, let's move to the speaking skill for this unit. When you present ideas about technology or innovation, using examples can make your speech much clearer and more convincing. For example, imagine you say, I believe robots will change many jobs in the future. This statement expresses an opinion, but it becomes stronger if you include an example. Examples help your audience understand how your idea works in real. Let's look at an improved example. You might say, I believe robots will change many jobs in the future. For example, some supermarkets now use self-checkout machines. This shows how technology is changing traditional jobs. In this case, the speaker includes a story example. The example of self-checkout machines helps the audience understand the idea. This makes the explanation clearer and more convincing. Another important skill when speaking is justification. Justification means explaining why your opinion is reasonable. For example, someone might say, I think robots will not replace all jobs because humans are needed for creativity and decision making. In this sentence, the speaker provides a reason to support the opinion. Justification strengthens your argument and helps your audience understand your point of view. Now, let's think about these questions. Do you believe robots will replace human jobs in the future? What kinds of jobs might robots perform? And what jobs do you think will still require humans? When answering these questions, try to include a clear opinion, a story example, and a reason or justification. This will make your explanation stronger and clearer. Let's summarize what we learned in this unit. First, we learn how to listen for story examples. Story examples help speakers explain complex ideas using real-life situations. Second, we learn how to use story examples in our own speech. Examples make our explanations clearer and easier to understand. Finally, we practiced giving reasons and justification to support our opinions. These skills are very useful when discussing important topics such as innovation, technology, and the future of work. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next lesson.